Hey everybody, I'm live and it's Wednesday, October 1st, 2025. Let me make sure this is working. Am I live on Rumble? All right, man. Still seeing the intro video. Refreshing the page a couple times. Okay, there we go. Finally it left. And I'm paused. Yeah, I'm not doing that thing like I did last week where I took an hour without realizing I wasn't live on Rumble. Okay. Okay, there's a lot going on, even some promotions first. Um, my brother Duane is back in the hospital, and he has kidney issues, and his blood pressure, which has always been kind of high, went really high a couple days ago. So he has been in the hospital the last 2 days. Um, your prayers for him would be much appreciated. Um, Not as bad as it was last year. I can't remember. Last year in early October, he had a really bad episode. He'd actually had a renal, I'm saying that, a renal bleeding issue, which he wasn't aware of. And he thought it was something else. And he literally had it bleeding from his colon. It got so bad, he grew so weak, he could hardly get up out of the chair. And he survived that. We figured out what it was, and we got him to the hospital, and he pulled through just fine. What they figured out what it was, and so this I don't think this is as major as that thing last year. Last year he was so physically weak, just getting up to go to the bathroom was a major struggle, and he improved a lot. When he tells me, and he mentioned this on a post last night on his social media. He got lazy with his morning routine and stopped taking his blood pressure meds some time back. Of course, his blood pressure climbed up gradually to the point that it now became a problem. And so he's back in the hospital, and they say his kidneys are stable now. That's one of the ways high blood pressure will affect you. Is it goes right to the kidneys, man. Uh, so he had an issue with his kidneys. He's seeing the doctor today. They told him his kidneys are stable, and he's on the right medication right now. So I expect him over the next day or two. He should be out of the hospital and back home. We're gonna continue what he's been doing. He's been getting healthier for the last for what he just made a mistake. He got lazy and stopped. You know how it is. You haven't had a problem with something for a while. Well, maybe I don't need this anymore. Maybe I don't need the meds anymore. I found out the hard way. Actually, yes, those blood pressure medication. So your prayers would be much appreciated for my brother doing. I hope he's watching right now from his hospital bed here in Lincoln. So let's just dive right into it. There's so much going on. There's so many things happening right now. The government shutdown. This big ice raid in Chicago that nabbed a whole bunch of gangs, 300 gang members in the heart of Chicago. Uh, and so what's going on with the ice center in Portland, Oregon. the sea thing is not just Chicago right now. The Atlantic was so back up in Portland, Oregon again. So Trump is sending the federals there, and that is an issue there. There's so much going on right now. Yeah, my phone's playing out. Heck, this is my fault. I was messaging certain people right after the start of the show and asking them questions about everything. Okay. Dive right into it. So yesterday was the big event at Quantico, Marine Base Quantico, where our Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, talking about certain things. They, all the usual suspects came out and said, you, you could have done this by Zoom call. Just cost millions of dollars to bring all the top brass. I really like that I can make my mouth do this. You spent millions of dollars bringing all the top brass to this one Marine base, so you could stand up there and give a speech. I think you wasted that money, buddy. You had a couple days in this. You could have done this with a Zoom call. Yeah, except for the fact that Microsoft admitted that their entire infrastructure, the communications infrastructure, has been compromised by foreign powers. Our War Department is compromised. Did you know that? Do if you've been drinking your coffee and you're dangerous with your coffee, know that we've been infiltrated from within. Right after Pete got done telling them the woke shit is over, all those just simple military leaders. The woke shit is over. No more fat people that can't fit in their uniforms, no more men in dresses. The, the woke shit is over. Trump comes out. Trump comes out there. What does he tell them? Okay, this was the big news for yesterday. This was the big news. Trump told all of our assembled top military brass yesterday we face a threat to our country, a threat that has infiltrated us from within. That was the big moment of the entire day. We're facing a real serious threat that has infiltrated us. And he all but came out and said it's infiltrated our military. And you were the people that were in charge. I understand, no Biden, whoever the fuck. Biden's gone. The Trump was aware for a long time these people have been surreptitiously infiltrating all of our cultural institutions through bribery and debt schemes and by various blackmail schemes. They have been infiltrating our country. And that means not just the media, not just Hollywood, not just, you know, the music industry, the sports, our universities. No, no, no. One of the one of the first institutions they would target for infiltration is our military. They would target it. infiltration, and stimulation. He came right out and told him. He knows what's been going on. There are people all throughout our military. Like there are people all throughout the other cultural institutions, academia. They don't even hide it in academia, Hollywood, corporate, corporate boys, BlackRock, Vanguard, all the companies they own and have control of. That all been infiltrated, all been assimilated. He told them right to their faces, I'm aware some of you have higher loyalty to the United States of America. I'm aware of that. As the commander in chief, I'm letting you know that we don't just know what's going on. We are going to address it. We are going to fix it. Yeah, as Trump and Hegseth got ready to do this, we were treated to days and days of messaging. I'm not sure about the process. I don't understand why they couldn't have done this by email. Why you need to assemble all these in just one place and tell them this? There's several reasons for that. Because a lot of the communication is not going to go on with the telecom. Only some of this is going to be televised. Only some of the revolution going on in America right now is going to be televised. Revolution's been underway for some time. A revolution where we are literally casting off the control of the people who've been surreptitiously and quite cleverly, quite, quite clever, been in control of our country for a long time now. We are casting off their control, the revolution. Not all of it's gonna be done for the TV cameras, you can see it. Uh, I have a right to know. No, you don't. Not ever you don't. So a lot of what's going on at Quantico is not in front of the cameras. All those higher loyalty people are being pulled aside, being told, time for you to go. They are going. They will go. They left a track record behind themselves. It's pretty much obvious at this point who was with America first and who has higher loyalties, where they've demonstrated uh, years, they will literally sabotage our military, promote and institute policies that they are paid under the table surreptitiously. They will promote policies they are paid to promote that damage our military and hinder its ability to effectively do its job. It sounds crazy when you first begin talking like this. I understand that. I was trapped deep in neocon land for a long time. We'll be getting into the crime thing in a minute when we talk about the fact that the fucking governor of North Carolina has been sitting on Iryn's law for 8 days now. This idea is fostered in neocon land. These people, meanwhile, they're just incompetent now. They're bleeding heart liberals. The monster got away from them, okay? They stupidly created a Frankenstein monster. They got away from them, and they've lost control of it. But you put me in there, and I'll fix the European Uniparty. You put me in there, and I'll fix that thing that the Democrat Uniparty guy created. I'll tame that Frankenstein monster. Yeah, I'll tame it. part of the act, all part of the con. So a lot of what's actually going on in the second New American Revolution that's underway is not done for the benefit of the camera. It will not be done when you can see it and you can critique it, you know, because a lot of this shit had to be done secretly. And if you don't accept that, sorry. And that's one of the reasons, you had to assemble them there. A lot of shit is getting done out of sight and it needs to be done in person. Microsoft, all the military's fucking comms infrastructure. What do you think? What were you told about Microsoft several days ago? You I mean, if you pay attention to the big picture, don't compromise. Don't compromise. You can't trust the Zoom calls if you'll ever have a secure encrypted communications. The enemy can't crack because the enemy got in under the wire. They were allowed in. People were paid off to let them in, and they got in. I have a massive headache right now for some reason. I could use your prayers too. Sometimes I can't turn my mind off and fall asleep like a normal person. My friend Colonel Tyler Watkins tells an analogy that's pretty apt for what we're going through right now. You have to view our country's governmental structure as an airplane. If you come to understand the airplane has been hijacked, but sabotaged, it's flying in the wrong direction. It has so all the structure inside of it has been rearranged, so it will only fly in the wrong direction, doing bad shit to the people in the plane. And it's how I'm phrasing it, alright? Trump and his team, the Patriots in control now, that's how a lot of people put it. Trump and his team volunteered to get on that plane and fix it while it is in the air. 'Cause you can't land the fucking thing and have it sit there for 4 years not doing anything while you swap out the parts. No, 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 no. You don't have the option of doing that. I mean, what would you think? Like, he comes in 2017 and says, "Okay, we're I'm sorry, folks, we're not going to have a government for a couple of years while we renovate this whole fucking." Yeah, my audio's going out. I literally can't help that. Okay, my brother's watching me, says he can't use the Wi-Fi at the hospital. Okay. I'm just gonna soldier on. There's literally nothing I can do if my audio isn't sounding good. And I sometimes these issues happen. I do a live stream and everything's fine, and there is no issue. Sometimes I do a live stream, it's like, "Wow, man, I can barely hear you." Yeah, okay, it happens. I can't fix it. So anyway, Trump and his team did not have the option to we're not gonna have an FBI. We're not gonna have a DOJ. We're not gonna have any intelligence services. We're not gonna have an NSA or a DIA. We're not gonna have a military. We're not gonna have any of this. We've got to do some serious work firing everybody who's in here and renovating it, and the fastest way to do it is land the fucking plane and leave it there for a couple of years while we fix okay. They did not have the option of doing that. They didn't have the option of doing you get to repair uh, in flight. You've got to slowly repair it and turn it so it starts flying the right direction. You have to do it in a way that the plane doesn't crash, okay? You have to get out. You've got to find while it's in flight. Let me check a setting here in a second. Okay. All right. So you will see a special focus on certain parts of the gun. They can't land the plane and fix it. Military, FBI, DOJ, CIA, State Department, Department of Education, Iris, land the damn plane and do it all at once. All right? Yeah. Once flying, the plane must be in the air while they repair it. This this is not easy. Okay, but it had to be done that way, or it doesn't work. So the first thing they had to do when they came in back in January, then late January, early February, march straight to the U.S. Treasury and start there. Had to start. I don't understand. I don't understand why they didn't go straight to the military first. Oh, what they thought this out now. They thought this out a long time ago, how they were going to approach. Don't listen to media brands out there. I don't care how nobly they drape themselves in the MAGA flag. Trump has no plan. He's making all this shit up as he goes along. That's how his own stuff. That's how he ended up fucking up his own staff again. Because he has no fucking clue what's going on around him. Too wild to whoever was hiding one. Somebody makes a comment like that to me, that tells me they're listening to the wrong fucking people. No, they planned this out very carefully how they were gonna do it. They were gonna start at the treasury. Then they were gonna move to Social Security. One part of the plan gets special attention at a time. They expose this shit that's been going on, dude. And they show enough a lot of this goes on out of sight behind the scenes. They show the public some of this shit. that's been going on there at the Treasury. Social Security Administration, IRS, Department of Education. Excuse me. You don't even see it all. They only show you some of it, and then they start fixing it. It takes a while. Um, one step at a time, one agency at a time, one part of the plan at a time. Once in flight. So this is why people say, "I don't understand. Why didn't you just completely destroy the CIA and the DIA and the NSA and the all of these intelligence agencies? I don't understand why you didn't shut the Department of Justice completely down and fire everybody and start over. I don't understand why you didn't shut the FBI down, fire everybody on day one. I don't understand." Well, you can understand if you try. You just somebody says that, they just telling you they're not trying. They're not even trying. You can't shut down the FBI. You can't do it. You can't shut down the Department of Justice. What do you that's you got to fix it while the plane is in the air. You've got to have a functioning Department of Justice while you fix it. You've got to have a functioning Treasury while you fix it. You've got to have a functioning Department of Education. Oh, okay, you're gonna destroy that. Like, that was gonna be gone soon. You're a state agency. You can't destroy them. You cannot ground the plant and wait a couple months until it's fixed and then take off again. You can't do that. This is what people don't understand yet. You've got to fix the DOJ and the FBI while you're flying the plane, and that's what's gonna happen. Now, in reference to the military, a lot of shit went on in the military. You didn't see, you didn't hear about it. It was done secretly. It was you may have seen ripples on the thing, but a lot of this was done outside where you couldn't and and it had to be that way. It had to be done that a lot of the problems in the military are gone already. Either they left on their own or after being encouraged to do that, or they were fired. But yesterday is when, it the team decided it's time to bring out some of the things in the military, for the military to get special attention. And we're gonna show the public some of the things we're doing with the military to fix it while the plane is in flight. You can't do a lot of this shit over a Zoom call. Yeah. Not when your whole comm system has been compromised because all the people that were there before you got there set up on an infrastructure that is compromised up the ass. Can't can't just give everybody your phone number and a date and a time, sit down and do a Zoom call, okay? Because you are gonna have to do things the public can't see because the enemy is watching. I mean, if you Q people, Q came right out and told you. People would get mad at Q team. "Why are you being so vague? Why can't you?" come out and tell us why not doing it? Why do you always have to be so cryptic? Well, you're not the only one watching. You understand? Open comms always have to be vague. Open comms always have to be cryptic. You're not the only one watching. Yeah, okay. Rumble decided to be shitty today. It was fantastic on Monday. Today, Rumble decided to be shitty. Sorry. My settings are exactly the same as they were on Monday. So it sucks. Apologies for Rumble on Rumble's behalf. Okay. Nobody's happy with the speed of how the changes are happening. A lot of people have their opinions. They'll sit there and tell you all damn day long how they think this should be done. How our military needs to be cleaned up and handled. Well, listen, how do you know it hasn't been handled? A lot of what you're watching, that was a made for TV event. Some of it yesterday. That was a made for TV event. Sure it was. That was a show for the public. Absolutely. Absolutely it was. As far as Hegseth giving a speech, and then he's immediately followed by the commander in chief, who tells the assembled top brass. You know, a lot of people think the major message it was given yesterday was the work shit is over. No more work crap. No more LGBTQ month in the military. No more men in dresses. That's over. They think that was the main message. Well, that was part of it. That was an important message from yesterday. But it was actually the commander in chief that delivered that message. And what was the main message that was delivered yesterday? Not over a fucking Zoom call, not by an email. He delivered it to them in person to show them how seriously this is being addressed. He's saying this publicly. Imagine what's being done when you can't see it. See where I'm going with this? Trump told all of our assembled military brass, we faced a threat from within. We've been infiltrated from within, and we are addressing, and that's the reason you're here today. We are addressing the fact we have been infiltrated from within, and we are addressing it. Will be dealt with. We will end this threat to our country. That should have been the headline. What was the headline? Spent all day hearing. Wow, looks like the work stuff in the military is finally over. But don't miss the fact that the people who infiltrated our military from within wanted all the work crap. Yeah, they wanted all the men in dresses. They wanted a fat, politically correct woke military. That's that's one of the reasons they infiltrated us. Yes, they wanted to weaken our military. I'm not saying the woke stuff doesn't play a role. I'm saying they wanted to get our military into that condition so it would not be an effective force that could end the threat. And a lot of what Trump and Pete have been doing for the last 9 months have to do with getting force ready for what's about to happen. What's already been happening, but, some of this is gonna start surfacing soon. I call it the silent war. I've been calling it the silent war. We've never had a real war on drugs in this country. Even all the war on human trafficking Trump is doing in his first time. You think he didn't know that he didn't have actual functional control most of the United States government 2017 to 2020? Think he didn't know that? Oh, he knew that. He knew what would happen instantly if he went after the criminal network. If he tried to launch a real war and a real war on human trafficking in that first time, if he stopped playing nice and pretending that he was actual president with full control of the federal government, it he would not have survived it. I don't think MAGA would have survived it if he tried that the first time. Survived. He had to wait and bide the time until the 3 keys were met. 1, enough of the public woke up and saw what was happening and supported doing something to address. 2, he had the right plan with the right people in place so that if he gave the order, it would succeed. I've had to explain this. Probably gonna have to explain this for another couple of years. Just having the authority to give an order doesn't win you jack shit. Well, I won the election. I have the authority. I'm the president. Well, good for you. You give that order when you don't have the right plan and you don't have the right personnel in place. You go ahead and give that fucking order and watch what happens. You know what? Up in 2018. Okay, fuck it. Let's go there. All right, this way. I take down the FBI, take down the CIA, take down the State Department. I'm going to abolish the Department of Education. He starts saying all this wild shit. 2018. He gives the order. I'm the president. I can order this. I haven't launched the virus yet. Haven't launched the pandemic yet. Tried this in 2018. How do you think that would have gone? Mhm. He's got the authority to give the order. They didn't have the support yet. He didn't have the popular support. Have enough. He didn't have the right plan. He didn't have the right people in place to implement the plan. So it could actually succeed. And what happens is the third key, popular support, the right plan with the right people in place, surviving and advancing. Okay? And oops, you gave the order, which you have the authority to give at the wrong time, have the right people. You didn't have the right plan. And so all of your troops are now dead. They advanced on the objective and they died in very glorious fashion and they failed. And your political career is now over. Bye. See ya. bad shit happens if you give an order when you don't have enough public support behind you, and your plan is fucked up and it doesn't even have a ghost of a chance of succeeding, and you don't even have the right people in place to carry out the plan. Of course it's not going to work. And I've had to explain to people many times. Trump is not interested in losing. He does not have any enthusiasm for losing. So look like I'm going off on a tangent here. Okay, bear with me. Trump has been given the opportunity to quite nobly leap onto his white charger and lead his cavalry right into the guns and going down in a quite noble blaze of glory. Given the opportunity to do that many times over the last 10 years. Early on, the enemy thought they did they did not understand who they were dealing with. They bought the act. Let me tell you about the act. Okay? I used to buy into the act. Okay, I used to buy in that Trump was a dumbass, an impulsive, egotistical, egomaniac, sex obsessed egomaniac. He doesn't plan anything out, can't stick to a plan. I bought that act for a number of years. Back when I was trapped deep in neocon land. And it wasn't until Trump had actually shocked the world by winning that 2016 election and being president for a couple of months. I said, hey, I better go back and look again at this guy and reassess everything that I think I knew about him. And here's what I discovered when I did that. I thank you, Thomas, would you for teaching me this, but John Harold, not so much. I went back and researched Trump from before he adopted the act, the persona, before he adopted the wild golden hair, the orange tan, the big swaggering alpha male. Shatek. I went back and I researched him. Okay. And here's what I learned. You go back and study his interview in the 70s and early 80s, about 1986. Go back and study his interview. You see, he's sitting down with people like Oprah, Rhoda Barrett. Remember Rhoda Barrett? You can find these interviews on YouTube. He's on Larry King. He's on with Johnny Carson. He's on with all these famous interviews. You go back and look. He's completely he talks in a messy, thoughtful way. You can see the intelligence. You can see the control. You can see the intellect. And about 1986, it all changes. Suddenly, he's obsessed with his sex life. The Playboy thing used to be in the background. Yeah, he was wealthy. He liked the ladies. He never hid that. But all of a sudden, it becomes like the main thing. Always talking and bragging about his sex life. He adopts the wild hair and the orange tan. He doesn't just walk into a room anymore. He's swagging into the room. I got the biggest swinging dick in the world. Everybody out of my way. Okay, you can almost pin it down to a year when he became the Donald. Why did he do that? Why did he why did he do this? Why did he adopt an act? Why did he start pretending to be an impulsive, brash, egotistical, not very bright, sex obsessed, really yes, person? Why did he do that? Well, if you go back and look, they really thought they had him there. They really thought he was one of them. They sent Epstein at him along with several other people. They really thought he was one of them. Easily controllable, easily directed. When he comes down that golden escalator 10 years ago, what do you think these people were telling themselves about him? Because they brought the act. What do you think they were telling themselves? "Oh, this guy's gonna be no problem at all." Now, I speak on the side here, don't get confused. Some of the smarter ones, the smarter oligarchs family, the smarter Lucifer, alright, they knew all along what Donald Trump really was. They were worried about this guy from the start. But the dumber ones that bought this spent years watching the act, and they came to believe that that was the real man, okay? They watched him come down that golden escalator, and they laughed, "Man, this dumbass has no idea what he's getting into. He has no idea how much is stacked up against him, what he's taking on, what he's volunteering to take on. Stupid golden-haired prick. No clue how we're gonna utterly fucking destroy him for even thinking about trying this." And they believed at the start it was going to be quite easy for them to goad and trick this dumb, impulsive, brash, egotistical son of a bitch into destroying himself. You see where I was going. I'll be the first 5, 6 years. Oh, yeah, okay. It's confusing that he hasn't destroyed himself yet, but we'll keep trying. I don't think probably wasn't until about 2021 or 2022 it finally started dawning on the stupider ones, okay, involved in this. Wait a minute, maybe he's not a fucking moron. M maybe he's been playing us. How do you think they view him now? You think they still think he's some dumb sexy billionaire, alpha male braggart, impulsive, emotional, easily goaded into rash decisions? You think they believe that? Oh, I think they figured it out by now. That's why I find it so fucking infuriating. We have MAGA media people, social media people, and people building podcast. Still still view Trump this way. Clueless, impulsive, emotional, easily tricked, easily deceived. He used to start wearing the wrong team around him. He can't help it. He's a dumbass. Only he was listening to me. Only he was listening to me. You have people out there right now, very highly respected in MAGA circles. They show up at all the events. Trump shows up and shakes their hands and smiles and poses for pictures with them. And then, oh, this person must be okay. What does that person do on the air? Trump still hasn't figured out how Stevie Miles and Sergio Gore or whoever the fuck was stabbing him in the back. Me from over here outside the Trump inner circle, I know all about it. My cool inside sources tell I can see it. Trump, that clueless dumbass, is completely blind to what they're doing. Trump's enemies figured out a long time ago who they're really dealing with. That's why it's so fucking infuriating to watch people that are literally building media brands inside of MAGA right now. I'm not saying they do this 24/7. I'm saying, you know, 50% of what they say, hey, good stuff. But then they reach that segment. All right, here's where Susie Wiles is fucking with Trump again. Here's where Sergio Gore, whatever, fucking with Trump. Oh, here's the latest one. Dive into this for a second. The script remains the same. Only the names change. 1 week. Here's how Pam Bondi. Trump is completely clueless about what Pam Bondi is really doing. Or Cash. Or Dan. He's completely clueless about what they're doing at the DOJ and the FBI. Oh, it's so sad. If only he was listening to me, I let him know, "Wow, hey, Trump, you have no idea what's going on at this agency up here. I know better than you. I hear from my cool anonymous sources what's really going on inside the FBI DOJ. I'm more wired in than you are, Trump. I'm doing a job for you. If you really understood what Pam Bondi is doing over here, you fired her ass a long time ago." Do I have to mention any names? You know who these people are. They're all over the they're all over social media, popping their brand. They don't hide that they do this. They don't whisper it in a closet somewhere. They do broadcast it in some cases. Yeah, it's the peop I'm more wired in than Trump is. My inside sources are telling me stuff about what's really happening, you know, that Trump doesn't know about within his own FBI and DOJ. And these people go to the brands. Telling. These lies. Absolutely fucking you. They're building brands based on deception. Did you know that? It's based on a deception. I don't care about the 50, 60% good stuff that you do. If the other 40 fucking percent of the time you're shoveling shit like this, it's your audience. Care about the good stuff. Okay, well, we're on the same side here. Can we all get along? No, we're not. No, we're not on the same side. We're in a war country. Stop undermining the commander in chief, motherfucker, and doing it with a smile and pretending that you're his good friend while you drape yourself nobly in the MAGA mantle. I'm more MAGA than MAGA. Nobody is more MAGA than me. And here's how that clueless son of a bitch Trump is being fooled by his publicity. Here we go. I'm gonna spin some fucking fairy tale to you. Giving myself another headache. Just talking about these motherfuckers, upsets. The enemy now knows who they're dealing with. They know they are not going to trick or goad or browbeat or deceive Donald Trump into making a rash, emotional decision to leap into an attack when the ground is not prepared. He does not have the public support yet. The public does not know why this needs to be done yet. He does not have the right people in place. He does not have the right plan to ensure that when he finally gives the order, it will succeed. And once it succeeds, he can move on to the next step and continue to advance and seize more ground in this war. Okay. They figured out they're not gonna he's not gonna do what they want. He's not gonna rush into an emotional decision and destroy himself. He's not going to do it. They figured that out, but a large part of the MAGA base hasn't yet because they're listening to these fucking people every day, selling them fantasies, selling them anonymous source crap. Here's how Susie Wild is undermining and sabotaging today. Yeah, sure me you don't have a fucking clue what's going on and that you're listening to the wrong people. Tell me all about how Susie Wild is hiding shit from Trump or Pam Bondi or whoever the designated person is this fucking week, whoever it is. Show me what script went out, what 4 a.m. talking points went out to these MAGA broadcasters and social media influencers. Tell me what the fucking script was. That they took money. They took money to read to you. Show me who it is. This week, it's Todd Blanche at the DOJ. Yeah, oh yeah, boy. Tina Peters would be out of that state prison in Colorado for that fucking Todd guy at the DOJ. Mhm. The script is the same. Only the name change. Let me tell you why Donald Trump can't just snap his fingers. that Peter Peters released from a state prison in Colorado, okay? You think like, I understand there's a huge community that researches in that. There's the General Flynn Digital Soldier Army that researches stuff and digs. There are people that know how to research things for themselves. That's only around 25, 30% of the base, and only 70% that doesn't research anything. I understand for good reasons why many of them don't, okay? They find authority figures, and they trust what an authority figure tells them. And that's who the target is of these fucking scripts some people are being paid to read to the MAGA base, okay? That's 70% of the base that doesn't research anything. And they see people show up at all of these events, and they speak at these events, and Trump hobnobs with some of them for no reason. He will hobnob and be friendly with them while knowing what they are. You're sitting at the table and the cards are being shuffled, and you haven't figured out who the mark is yet. You're the mark. Few people know this. The soldier people know this. Who doesn't know it? That's 70% of the rest of the country. They're the ones that are in play. They're the ones the script readers are trying to sway. Every fucking week, it's a new script. This week, here's how Dan Bongino is undermining why he's getting ready to leave the FBI. And next week, it's Pam Bondi. And next week, it's some shit that Bobby Kennedy is supposedly doing or not doing. And the week after that, it's Pete's turn. And the week after that, it's Cash's turn. My prayer is, even though I don't talk like a Christian, I know that. I lose control of my mouth when I live stream. My prayer is that 70% of the base matures fast enough to realize how it's being manipulated and exploited by people who are taking the money. As the enemy knows they're not gonna trick, goad Trump into making a rash decision and destroying himself. While you have people literally, you know who it is that pays these script readers? That's not exactly a mystery if you study the fucking script. If you haven't figured this out yet, allow me to spend 5 minutes explaining it to you. The same people fund both sides. Here's the left-leaning social media influencer and podcaster attacking Pam Bondi, attacking the weaponized DOJ, trying to sandbag it, trying to sabotage, trying to rob Trump of enough popular support that he can't move forward with his agenda. From the left, yes, these people are paid to do this. I'll read you an article that says something about communism or whatever, but they do this because 'cause they're paid to do this. From the left. Meanwhile, same fucking people now, are offering money to people on the right, offering money on the right. "I will pay you." Okay. On the left, they know what the lefty confirmation biases are. They know what their greatest fears are and their greatest hope. Here's a script I crafted for you. Oh, lefty blogger, I will keep you read it. That hits every lefty confirmation bias bell about why the DOJ is now an evil, weaponized institution. I will pay you this much to read that script. Lefty blogger says, yes, sir. Thank you very much. I'll take your money. I'll read that script. On the right, they approach MAGA, social media influencers slash podcasters slash media personality. I want drop Trump's popular support. I want to give the impression he doesn't have a fucking clue what he's doing. I want you to craft a message that will ring every single fucking confirmation bias bell for the MAGA crowd, for the MAGA. Every one of their greatest fears, I want you to ring those bells. Now here's how much I'll pay you to do that. She goes, yes, sir. Give me the script. I'll take your money. Thank you very much. I've been telling some of you people. Up, up, I really started with some March with the binder unpleasantness. The Epstein binder unpleasantness. You're being fucked with. Certain people you trust, you set up as authority figures. Hey, they're on all the right TV shows. They go to all the right events. They write books. Trump seems friendly with these people, but they're reading fucking scripts to you that undermine him and rob you of your confidence in him. And they do it constantly. Why? Well, I think they're being paid to do that. Yeah. So from the left, they're trying to hold the left. Don't defect, no matter how absurd the talking points we have to hear. No matter how absurd they get, please don't keep your audience not to defect. We just gonna keep them paralyzed, keep them here on our side. Meanwhile, what are they doing on the right? Same people now, same people paying the money. Pay off the left, pay off the right. They come over to the right. We need people to abandon Trump. We need people to decide Trump doesn't know what the fuck he is doing. Here's the script. Read this out. Here's our money. We need that support to drop. We need that support for Trump to drop to the point he will not have any confidence he can move forward with his agenda. And what do people like Steve Bannon and these others involved in this? What do they say? Okay. I'll craft another story about how Tina Peters would be out in jail, out of the state prison in Colorado by now. If only Pam Bondi or in this week it's Todd Blanche or whoever would get up off their ass and do something. And that's what they did. Tina Peters is not a federal prisoner. She was not tried in federal court. She did not face federal charges. Trump can't pardon her. He did the one thing he could do. He told Pam Bondi to review the case and then contact and talk to the Colorado governor and the Colorado Secretary of State about it. The Colorado Attorney General, excuse me, speak to them about it the higher your regular case, put pressure on, let her go. Town bodies is doing that, but you may have noticed Peter Peters is still in prison. So, yeah, people sell this narrative to you. Trump wanted her out of prison, she'd be out of prison already. So either Trump doesn't want her out of prison, or he does, but the people he sent to get her out of prison are not doing the job. This is where it helps to know how the real world works. Trump cannot federalize the state of Colorado, go in there and say, whoever the governor is right there, I can never remember that guy's name. You're not the governor anymore, I'm in charge. He could go to the Colorado Attorney General. You're not in charge of law enforcement. And go to the Bureau of Prisons and say, you're not in whoever it is, Colorado State Prison. You're not in charge anymore, federalizing it, and I'm ordering Tina Peters to be released from jail. Okay. People go, well, why can't Trump do this? Look at what in DC. He federalized the city, took control of the police, sent in he sent in the National Guard. Why doesn't he do that in Colorado? Well, it's different when federal agents are being attacked, citizens are being attacked on the streets. Trump did not go in there and say, I'm also taking over the DC court. Your court system is now my court. He didn't do that. He had to go to Chicago and say, wow, your court system here is really screwed up. I think I'll federalize your court system and take it over. And I'll decide who goes to jail and who doesn't. Do that. People who craft these narratives appeal to emotion because they know that you don't understand how this actually works. Trump federalized DC for the public safety to end the crime. He had the authority to do that. He does not have any congressional authority, or any, excuse me, he does not have any constitutional authority to just parachute himself into Chicago, into Illinois or Colorado and say, I'm in charge now. This is my state. Get out of my way, Governor. Get out of my way, State Attorney General. He hasn't even done that in California. There had to be an issue where he can constitutionally take command, and he can only take command of certain things. The Constitution, I mean, now, having said that, if something comes out that shows that none of these people running these offices, the governor, state attorney, you know, state elections board, mayor of Chicago, whatever, they didn't actually win their election, the election. That's different. Maybe after that gets demonstrated to the public and there's enough public support built up, he's got the right people in place, he's got a plan. He can do what would be called the great election reset. Maybe he can, but we're not there yet. We're not there yet on the election thing. So Trump can't actually go in there and seize control of the entire state of Colorado. from the governor and the state attorney general and the Colorado Secretary of State can't do that. In fact, I want Tina Peters to right this minute. Constitutionally, there are only certain circumstances where he can even think about doing that type, and those circumstances haven't been met yet. No, yes, it's a very this is why when the great election reset happens and 3,000 plus county election systems have to be reconstructed from the ground up without any of the black box proprietary software machines being run by outside people. And these reconstituted, reconstructed election systems without these machines are being run by new personnel who were that's what he says. Hold on, give me a second. We have to do when the great election reset happens, we have to do 2 things. Create a new election system without any of these machines and staff the new election system with people to run it who weren't there before. And we have to be really fucking careful who gets those jobs, who the new staff is. You only get one shot at this, and believe me, every fucking Luciferian that lives in Nick County, every fucking one of these evil people that created the corrupted fucking election system that we're resetting is gonna instantly rush in there and volunteer to help set up the new one. This is when citizenship is gonna be at its finest, because it's gonna be up to the citizens to make sure not one of these fucking people that put us in this situation are running any of our elections in the future. It's not hard to tell when we can ask them a couple questions. It's pretty easy. But I digress. Okay. There are certain criteria that have to be met if you were going to go in there and seize control of an entire state from the elected officials. You better have proven those elected officials shouldn't even be in those offices. You better have demonstrated that before you do that. Whoever it is, pick a loop or whatever. And I'll take the old governor. I don't remember what the new guy's name is. He's doing the governor. Yeah, okay. He got the office. Whether they rigged the election to put him in there, that's another question. Right now, he's in the office. The Donald Trump to just come in there and say, out of the way, I'm in charge now. No, he's not going to do that. And so I see people out there, some of them who are just frustrated because, yes, it's a terrible thing that Tina Peters is sitting in a jail cell today. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying. I'm not saying this is not a massive injustice. It is. But this has to be done the right way, even if some people find it incredibly frustrating. Gotta be done the right way. So these same people that read script to you about what a clueless dumbass Donald Trump is, and how his own staff constantly fuck with him. The latest script they've been given there says the reason Tina Peters is still in a jail cell in the state of Colorado, the reason she's still sitting in the state prison there after being convicted in a state court on state charges. It's because Todd Rance is not doing his job, doing his job. They count on you not knowing how it works. So look to the carefully positioned authority figures who will tell you what's really going on at the White House, really going on at the DOJ and this guy. What's really going on there based on the anonymous sources now. So bullshit. Let's move on to something else, okay? Because I'm tired of talking about. I'm giving myself a headache. My blood pressure keeps going up. I'm gonna back off of that. The script readers who are MAGA, who've been fucking with you for months. At this point. She was lying. Trump doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. Trump's making it up as he goes along. He's just not paying attention. He's not noticing these people aren't doing what he's telling them to do. Ooh, oh, it's so sad. Oh yeah, okay, fuck that. All right, talk about Brandon Johnson, who was just on my TV a minute ago, whining and crying about the ice raid in his city the other day. An entire building that was under the control of the Trend Agua gang. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. Please tell it I waited an entire fucking building, multi-story building yesterday. They used helicopters and shit. It was awesome. I watched the video clips. It was awesome. Tony or whatever it was, TDA members in there taking it over, running a criminal enterprise out of that building. And Miranda Devon, she writes for the New York Post, I believe, came out with a post this morning talking about we literally have to do this. These are armed. These are not a bunch of people working at your local Walmart. All right, we're starting with the work the way for a reason. All right, this, this isn't some guy, nice guy named Manuel, whatever, walked into our country to pick crops in Louisiana. Okay, um, to pick corn in Texas or whatever. Okay? This is an organized criminal terrorist, basically. We call it a criminal gang, call it a cartel gang, right? Call it what it is. We search Operation Gladiator. We search how El Salvador was a test case for what they do in America and how the president how he fixed it. And Trump is now copying that template here. And this really upsets some people. As they're losing their imported muscle. Brandon Johnson's on my TV whining and crying about an ice raid. It took a bunch of gangbangers who are actually CIA trained. It's a CIA trained terrorist group that was imported in here to be muscle for certain people. Overseers. They import okay, people get mad, they start it wasn't 15 million, it wasn't 20 million, it was 30 million. Okay, look, it was a lot. I'm not gonna get tied down to a particular number. We don't know what the number. It was a lot. Some people say 15 million, 20 million. Yes, during the Biden. Yes, during years. Some people say 30 million. Hey, could be. You know, a lot, whatever. when you appoint a new slave class to replace all the blue collar workers you are deliberately not hiring for your industries anymore. You notice all that trucking shit that went down the last couple of days? The CDL, commercial driver's license shit going on with illegals who don't even provide a fucking name on the license. You noticing that? Why, it's all as if they decided they were going to replace American citizens to drive their trucks far cheaper illegal guys. Almost. Look, NRO, conservative media incorporated neocons, motherfuckers, want you to focus just on one particular aspect of this. They don't want you to see it as brown versus white, the racist thing. Okay. They want you to see that so they can maintain I'm about to explain to you what this is really about. Surprise! Jackie and Andy McCarthy and all these fucking people in NRO, most of these fucking people on Fox News. You're gonna wonder why they didn't tell you. All right. This mass migration, a deliberate mass migration of more than 20 million people in the Biden years is not just about House seats in Washington. D.C. It's not. It's never really been about that. Now, they like that can be that can help them remain a national party. Yes, they like that. But look, it was decided long ago, long time ago. I'm talking back in the 70s. Certain business interests and oligarchs who were behind those industries, who run the BlackRock and State Street shit, Vanguard, central banking. They decided decades ago we need to do a mass migration because these people are fucking goons. How much they have. So we're going to create industry. Hold on. We're gonna make it look like this is organic. That the industry is just responding this way. We don't have enough American workers. There aren't enough American workers. Not enough Americans here to do these jobs. That's how they got or and who was peddling that? Okay, the right side of the spectrum peddled that shit to you, but so did the right side, left side, right side, same fucking people behind the scenes. We need to convince America on both sides. There aren't enough American workers, and this is terrible. This is horrible. Something need to be done about. My head is really pounding. Mm. So I'm gonna finish this. I got 30 minutes. Mm. We need to bring in a new slave class because the blue collars aren't getting it done. Blue collar Americans need to be replaced. While they were telling, they literally fucking offshored entire American industries. And as bad as the trade imbalances, and you can find interviews with Donald Trump talking about how bad this was already in the 1980s. In the 1990s and 2000, they ramped up the trade imbalances to ludicrous levels, letting in millions. No, millions were already in here before they stole that election from Biden in 2020. They let millions in here and let them stay. They offshored entire industries. Told them, well, this is the price of modern progress. Learn the code. Trade, offshoring the industry, letting in millions of illegals. Trump tried to stop some of this in his first term. Okay, he didn't have full control. He wasn't completely ineffective. He tried to stop it. And they got rid of him, and man, they threw the program wide open. They let over 20 million in 4 years. But you have to understand, they set the wheels in motion decades ago, back in the before 2000. In motion. We need to do a replacement. 'Cause when we start going where we want to go, we have enough cultural control of academia, all the public schools, Hollywood. We have all that type of U.S. government. We have that control. But people are going to see what we're doing. Middle class Americans are going to see what we're doing. They're not going to vote for us. And we may not be able to rig the election. Remember, they didn't start introducing a lot of this digital shit after the 2000 election. We got to do something. We're going to lose the middle class. Win elections without the middle class. Oh, so we're going to let millions in here. We're going to give them amnesty. We're going to make them citizens. And they started this in the 80s. Everybody talked about what a great fucking president. Followed the same script the rest of them did. He may have bucked it. Go back and study the amnesty under Reagan. They've been doing this shit, preparing for this for a long time. All right, let me sum it up. Left and right, we go. This has to happen. These industries must go. They must be offshore. This is the price of modern international progress. The whole world benefits. You can't stop it. So just get along and go. They stole hundreds of thousands, millions of American jobs, shipped them overseas. To for what? For what? Slave labor. People making slave wages. That's how it started. You understand where I'm going with this? The new slave class was overseas for the first couple decades of this. You understand? You understand what I'm telling you? The new slave class was in China. It was in Argentina. It was in Brazil. It was in Taiwan. The new slave class didn't live here yet until the ground was ready and they were prepared enough. to begin importing the new slave class. But when your plan to replace Americans with cheap slave labor, which is the point you can now throw the border and start importing all these people into the country, you have a problem because there's millions of them. They need to be managed. They need overseers. Your new slave class needs slave overseers. What the fuck do you think these are? You're told these are very disorganized. MS-13 turned to aggro. There are just ordinary savage criminal gangs. Don't look whether they're actually a highly fucking organized terrorist group. Don't yeah. And they're brought in here to be the muscle and manage the setting up of this system to support and extract and control the extract resources from and control these 20 million people you just let in here to be the go-between. Slave taskmasters. You understand what you're looking at when you see Brandon Johnson or JP Pritzker on your fucking television talking about how upset it makes them that MS-13 gang members are trying to argue gang members are being caught and arrested and deported. You know why they really don't like this? I don't think some of you grasp why they don't like it. This is a plan that was decades in the making. They need these people. They need them. They're the ones that make it all go. The drug trafficking, human trafficking, the child sex trafficking, the fentanyl trafficking. They make it go. They need these people. They must stay here. It doesn't work without. Don't wait for the fucking people on Fox News or National Review, all those William F. Buckley faggots telling you any of this, because they won't. They're not gonna tell you what you're really watching. 'Cause then you might start asking questions. Wait, did you know this back in the 80s? What the fuck they were doing? You guys at NRO, did you know what they were doing in the 90s? You know what they were doing at the offshoring and outsourcing of all those American jobs were going on, what they were doing at NRO, what they were doing in the 1990s and 2000s on Fox News. People like Tony Goldberg and Bill Costone and Stephen Hayes and all these conservative thought leaders. Did you go back and look at what they were doing? How they were selling it to you that this was actually a good thing and can't stop it, might as well go with it. Trade imbalances, the massive tariffs that they hit with, the offshoring of all these industries. They were always telling you this was not the hill to die on. They were fucking with you. a literal replacement migration to bring in a new slave class to replace Americans. That's not a theory. You've fucking been watching for decades. um, For decades. Why did why did all those good conservatives out there, Ann Coulter, Mona Karen, I mean, forget the politicians. No name was never gonna tell you John Bonner. Fuck those guys. The conservative leading lights like Ann Coulter and all these other people, why they never tell you what was actually going on? Both sides. They want the same results. They just change the steering a bit depending on who the audience is. Once you see that shit, you can't ever unsee it. I started seeing it back in 2018, 2017, 2018. It's like the neocon scales fell from my eyes for the first time, and that was terrifying. It's terrifying. I just spent the past 17, 18 years of supporting every war they dragged us into with their lives. I bought all their books. I watched all their war stories with Oliver North. And I bought all their bullshit. I bought all their books. They went, you know, and it hurts when your eyes wake up. When the scales fall from your eyes, you wake up and you realize what 9/11 was. You realize what they've been doing. You realize the carnage of these wars and the people that we've lost. You realize what these people are. And it's a struggle to forgive them, but God called us to do it, and we do. That doesn't mean that they shouldn't face justice for what they've done, and justice is. So do you understand what you're saying when you see that prick E.T. Pritzker standing there? You are looking at literal evil. You look at somebody who knows exactly what he's doing, how it's killing. No, all right. You some Pritzker, Brandon Johnson, mayor of Chicago, fucking guy in North Carolina, the governor. The Kotek chick up there in Oregon. They're all the same. The faces are different, the names are different. The same foul smell comes off of every one of them. This guy's been sitting on that law for 8 days now. He doesn't want to sign it. I'll tell you why. He doesn't want to sign it because the people who've been controlling all of our cultural institutions, they were in control of our country until very recently. They still have control of a lot of things, but they lost enough control that Trump can be doing certain things. Okay. They set up our country down to the fucking county school board level. Okay, they have our country set up how they wanted it. Now Trump is the wrench in the machinery that is fucking everything up, right? I culture was deliberately set up by these very, very deep pockets people behind the scenes using bribery, blackmail, and debt. They're central bankers. They can do that, all right? They're fantastically super duper wealthy, right? They own all the money. They have blackmail rings, they set up blackmail centers all over the world. Don't think the mistake of thinking Epstein's the only one. You find out stuff about Fiji, it'll blow your mind. And Bronson, okay, they set up blackmail and they set up debt. Debt is a big way they get control of so many nations. It's one reason why they use the intelligence wing, several wings. Big pharma wing, intelligence agency conglomerate, military industrial conglomerate, and the Iron Bank criminal syndicate conglomerate. There's 4 wings to this Hydra. I know Hydra is supposed to have 9 heads. Let's say this one has 4, all right? A 4-headed Hydra. They use their control. That's how they get control of so many different countries. They use their banking. They use their intelligence agencies to create terrorist groups, paramilitary groups. Then they use the military industrial complex to go fight the terrorist groups. Some of you still can't figure out what the fuck is going on between Hamas and Israel because you don't understand. You program not to understand. The same fucking people control both sides. You're programmed not to understand that. That's hard question to program. Some people can't. There's 4 wings, 4 heads now, okay? They use their 4 heads to drug our country, use bribery and blackmail to set up our criminal justice system, not just at the federal level, but in all the key states. And you wanna know why, despite the fact the common fucking sense thing to do for that governor is sign that damn law. It's a travesty that they've been letting all these people out of jail and little crazy drugged up people shuffling around the streets, attacking and killing people. But he won't sign it. Why? None of this shit is organic. I've been telling you this for a long time now. Oh, well, see, incrementally over the decades, bleeding heart liberals got in there and they set up a monster. They created a Frankenstein monster of all these compassionate, bleeding heart liberal uh, criminal social justice policy. And the Frankenstein monster got away from them and nobody can claim it. Oh, bullshit. I don't fucking national deal with it. Fuck that shit. Fuck that excuse. Well, all right, let me try this one. Uh, we've been infiltrated by the commies. Commie Marxist scum snuck in here. 60s radical snuck in. And they intentionally sabotage our criminal justice systems in places like North Carolina and Chicago and LA. They got in there. All these commies did this. It's an international conspiracy. Bullshit. Bullshit. The fucking oligarchs who've been paying for all of this, who happen to the left of that for decades, are not fucking communists. They're not communists. The super duper fantastically wealthy beyond your wildest dreams. They only tell you part of what they actually go for. They only declare part of it. They don't show you everything now. They're not communists. They may adopt the communist coverage just like they adopt all kinds of disguises. Don't mistake the disguise for the real thing. Get it right. The Luciferians. The Luciferians. Why won't this fucking governor sign that law that so much sense? Why won't he sign it? He's at the top of a Luciferian system. These people love the dark. They love living in the dark. When they gaslight you and they fuck you with their lies, they are speaking their native language and it gives you joy. They have intentionally rigged it. This is the other thing, the financial thing. On the one hand, they completely fucked up deliberately now. They completely fucked up the entire system to create a revolving door. They did that on purpose. That wasn't organic. That wasn't. They did that on purpose. And when they're American people live in that county, they're watching somebody like that poor Puerto Rico girl that got murdered, stabbed all the time. I mean, shot in the head. Excuse me. No, I mean that was hard to watch that testimony. And that guy was arrested 39 times. That's not an accident. They certain people paid for that. They deliberately set it up that way to achieve that result. So on the one hand, you're getting that. What's on the other hand, when the citizens start demanding this, what do they tell them? We don't have our money. You know, we're it's we're scraped to the bone. We don't have any money to keep more people in prison. We don't have any money to build more mental hospitals and keep these homeless people in there. We don't have it. Taxes are high, yeah, but we got it already. We don't have any, and that's what this motherfucker's gonna say when he's finally in North Carolina. This is what he's gonna say when he finally has to come out and explain why he won't sign the fucking bill. We don't have any money. Well, he'll come out, he'll try to negotiate. Okay, I will put more people in jail, raise your taxes by another 5. He'll try to use it to manipulate and exploit the people even more than they are now. I'll raise your property taxes. I'll raise your state, whatever. If there's a state sales tax there, I don't know. I don't live in North Carolina. Come on, say, I'll raise your taxes to pay for this. If you're fine with that, great. Let's talk. Trump is demonstrating that the reason all of these bodies are, I mean, I know I shock people when I talk like this, but this is real American citizens, all right? The bodies have been allowed to stack up in the morgue all across the planet. In LA, in Chicago, in Illinois, in North Carolina, even in deep blue states like Texas and places like Houston and Dallas. Where would these fucking Luciferians have to go? The bodies are being allowed to stack up, if not just from outright violent crime, then from all the drugs they continue to allow in there. Not an accident. It's not organic. Nothing got away from these fucking people. They could have stopped it at any time. They don't want to. This is what Trump is exposing, that you don't have to live like this. The people who supposedly won those elections for your governor, for your mayor, for your chief of police, for your state attorney, they could have stopped this at any time. They don't want to. Why? Why don't they want to stop? Well, I see that their heart was in the right place. It got away from them. But, well, see, they're all commies. They're all communist subversives. And, but they're evil. They love the dark. And they want to live. They want to live in a gated community, loving the dark, while you are outside, suffering in the dark. That's what they want. They want you to continue living in the dark down. When you face when you remove all the confirmation biases, and you have to go and study this. You look at how this came about, how they end up in such control of their country, what they've done with it. All these excuses that are proper, they start with, "Oh, they mean well, I just got it where it's like maybe they're all commies." If you really study this, here's where you end up. Here's why this is a spiritual awakening. This is where you end up. It's good versus evil all around you. It always has been. It's a spiritual battle. All the moral spiritual beings around you are either going in the direction of the light every day, or they're going in that other direction. And right now, it's preparing. There are oligarchs families that I'm always talking about. I know some people preparing oligarchs families. Carefully set up our culture so that people who are the darkest hearted, who lie with the greatest ease, and who enjoy fucking gaslighting other people so badly it's like it's sexually exciting. These are the people who rise to the top. They set it up this way on purpose. So when Brandon Johnson comes after, he talked about how super pissed he is that I directed 30 terrorists that had taken over a building. We're running a literal criminal enterprise I was building in Chicago, and he's upset about it. And he's gaslighting you. He enjoys doing that. It's his nature. When JP Puster, that fat fuck, stands there and talks about how there's no crime problem, a certain number of people are gonna die anyway in this. You are seeing evil in corporate flesh. Evil. He's gaslighting the fuck out of you, and he enjoys it. You see a Gavin Newsom. He loves gaslighting fucking people. He loves gaslighting people, telling them the most fucking absurd lies so much he can't even stay still when he does it. He does this little shoulder jiggle. Some of you may think I'm joking when I talk about a Luciferian cult that was running the country. I'm not. I'm not joking. I'm not joking about it. These people have been here for a long time. They've been looting dozens of countries for a very long time, building a fantastic amount of wealth for a very long time. They've been using bribery schemes, blackmail schemes, debt schemes. They increase their control. They get by the power. They get entire nations by the power. And they have the control. They can do whatever they want. I'm gonna close with this. What if I told you a long time ago, 5 decades ago, some of these oligarchs' families says, "You know what? You know what I wanna see in 50 years? I want to see a movement launch, and we'll use all of our cultural institutions that we control to promote this. I wanna see men with sticks wearing wigs, in dresses, running around, and make everybody call them women. I wanna see that." It sounds like a joke when you first wrote this. You see some new things coming down the pike, a Bud Light ad campaign with a literal transvestite. Oh, they're just fucking with us now. Oh, man, you have no idea. They've been they've been fucking with you for a long time. What I'm talking about, fucking with you for a long time. You're just starting to notice. Yeah, I wanna see men in dresses, and we'll make everybody say that they're women. And then we'll use our cultural institutions to hammer the fuck out of them if they won't say it. Make it so. Let's make that happen. And they went out and they made it happen. And they started a transfer. It's easy to do that in the country where you fucking drug everybody from the time they're infants. You're pumping them full of toxic shit. You're feeding them toxic feed, making them sicker and sicker and more easily programmable. And you pick out the best candidates starting about 30 years ago. Pick out the best candidates and give them therapy and make boys convinced they're girls convinced that they are boys. They start lopping off breasts and penis, start giving them irreversible drugs, filling up their hormone system for the rest of their lives. And you call this medicine. I guarantee you 40, 50 fucking years ago, one of these libertarians said, "I wanna see this happen." They enjoy fucking with humanity. They get off on it. It excites them to gaslight, and I'm not joking. I'm not exaggerating. They spent a lot of money and they looted a lot of it from us. Yes, that's true. But they just spent a lot of their own. Remember, they're super fantastically wealthy here. Some of these people are declared to be worth 40, 50, $60 billion. That's just what they'll publicly declare. So we worth a lot more than we go. This is the world we're gonna create for this fucking humanity. We're gonna create with that toy with it. Like an ant farm. That'll be our fucking ant, and we enjoy hitting the ant farm and watching all the ants on it. And the trans thing is just one of the things. Yeah, I wanna see a COVID plan. I wanna see this, I wanna see that. They make it happen. They got the money, why not? Why not make it happen? They control all the politicians. They control the news media. They control the film and television, sport industries. They control the sports. Control all of it. Well, they did. Right now, they've lost control of some things, and it really upset them, and so Brandon Johnson had to stand up there and say, "I don't like this. Get ICE out of my city. I want those gang members here. I want all these illegals to stay." And then he gaslights the fuck out of you. Hard things like, "There's no problem there. There's no crime there. It's all overblown by you right when you get there. We just need more gun control, you know? We need more gun control." Every new outrage. E every new guy's been arrested 30 fucking times, kill some young girl. What do they do? What are the people that rose to the top of this Luciferian system, what do they do? Come out wearing a designer clothes, perfectly coiffed and styled hair, and then purple to about how this to shed light on an important issue in the community, and they are going to address it. They're staring their own bobo at me. Give up more rights, give up the guns, and you'll suddenly have that peace and safety that I haven't been able to deliver to you yet, but if you give this up, we'll get right to work on that. They fuck and they enjoy fucking with you. Every you know, I mean, everybody reaches that point where they realize I've been trying to get through to these people. What's really happening? I just can't seem to get through. They're fucking with you. Everybody wakes up to this differently. Some people wake up earlier than others. I can't understand why I can't just say, "Remember Lori Lightfoot? Lori Lightfoot was governor in Chicago, and you had like 80 people shot on one weekend. Comes out dressed in her nice suit. She didn't have much hair. Not a nice suit. Starts bovine about gun control. People, "Oh, I'm trying to get through the gun control to Sarah Lightfoot. It's not gun control. Gun control." She's fucking with you. There's nothing to get through to. She knows exactly what she's doing, and they know all along what they're doing. And more Americans wake up to it every day, and we're at the launch of the golden age. We're there. We're at the point this can happen now. Donald Trump is doing amazing things. Go back to look just a year or two ago. I mean, last October, just go back a year ago. Did you think you would see all this stuff you've seen in the last year? And the signs are pointing, amazing shit's gonna keep happening because he came down a golden escalator 10 years ago. He's not impulsive, and he's not rash. He can't be goaded or tricked or browbeat into doing something to destroy himself. He will not move before the time, before the 3 keys are met. Enough public support, the right people in the right places, and the right plan, it will work. And then the preparation for the next step. Very logical, very methodical. And a bunch of social media influencers out there building brands that either can't figure this out or act like they can't. Well, I don't understand why Trump hasn't proven they stole 2020 yet. Why hasn't Tulsi what's Tulsi waiting for? She's got the phone back, she's got the evidence. Where is it? Well, coming. Trump and Tulsi said it was coming. When it does, you'll know. Nothing happens before the time. It's one thing how social media pressure campaigns piss me off. They act like there's no plan. The reason these people tell you there's no, that means Trump's making it up as he goes along. So there's a chance we can browbeat him into doing something before he's ready. If we all, hey, let's all get together. Let's yell loud enough for Trump to do this right now. See if we can get him to move. What a waste of your time. I'm gonna stop with this one here. Okay, let's go. This one more thing. The government shutdown. The government is shut down. Oh no! Oh, this is terrible. Oh, this is horrible. We may never recover from what is it? The 20th fucking government shutdown of my lifetime. I don't even know how many times government's been. Since I started following politics about 1987. Every time this happens, the media comes out and screams, "Oh, this is terrible." The Democrats come out screaming, "Oh, this is horrible." The Republicans come out saying, "The Republic may not survive this." All this hysteria builds up, but it is different this time. Trump's in charge. West South has got plans, big plans. He's not shy about talking about. We're, we're in the second Trump term where there are no fucks given. No fucks are given. Trump openly talked about cutting the size of the federal government many times. Taking this one agency over here, taking this other fucking two large agency over there, and molding them together into one much smaller agency. Talked about this many times. Made no secret. Remember when Elon Musk bought Twitter and he fires like 80, whatever it was, 80% of the staff? Yeah, I don't think I need you guys anymore. Yeah, you guys, I don't think I need you. 80% of the staff. Oh, God. You had weeks of mass media news coverage, even on the right now, even on MAGA. Dumbass. Pays $44 billion. He had to go out and raise some of the capital, to make this purchase. And then the story was he tried to back out at the last minute. The Twitter bullet held his ass and made him go through with it. Made him go through with the purchase of this intelligence gathering asset for the intelligence agency. They forced him to buy it. It was being used to spy on the American people. They forced him to buy it. After he tried to back out, they lied to him. They would buy millions of Americans with it. They were forced to hand over control to him of this asset. Isn't it funny? Nobody explains it to you that way. But yeah, there were weeks and weeks of people saying, "What a dumbass! Paid 44 billion for this spy tool asset, and then fires 80% of the staff. There's no way. There's no way this platform doesn't collapse." Well, did it collapse? I mean, yeah, there were a couple of hiccups. to go from whatever the size of that staff was. It was big. They were spying on an awful lot of people now. They were spying and surveilling on an awful lot of people now with Twitter. And, spies start shooting out. That was not a social media company. That was he bought something else. I believe he said crime thing. He said he bought a crime. Yeah. I paid $44 billion for a crime scene. He does see we can spy on citizens without warrant. Supposedly. Kind of thing is discouraged. But as the days went by, people started noticing Twitter was not, in fact, collapsing. If anything, it seemed to work better than ever. That's amazing. The staff is like less than two-thirds of what it was. So it works even actually, it works better than it did. Here we are, so we was on from that. I don't think Trump is back in the White House unless he buys Twitter. I know they had a falling out several times. They had to kiss and make up a couple times. They did it again, then, the very moving Charlie Kirk moment. Kissed and made up, shook hands. "Hey, let's be friends again." Okay. One of the biggest lies that the American public is programmed to believe was that Twitter wasn't just a social media app, and it needed that big staff to manage a social media app. Being a social media app, it was biased. And most of the people that were there working on Twitter were there for, well, let's just say other reasons than they were gonna do 2 things: spy on everybody and control everybody could fucking say it. They needed a very large staff for that. Because Twitter, surprise, was a very big part of this censorship state they were building, along with Google and Facebook, and all those others, Instagram. Twitter was a key part of this censorship state. Hillary Clinton was supposed to come in and take command of it. The censorship state. They carefully been constructing for about 20 years. But Trump got in there and made Elon suddenly becomes the number 1 military contractor and suddenly becomes the world's richest billionaire. And amazingly enough, while Trump is out of office, not in charge, suddenly Elon Musk buys Twitter in 2020. And the censorship state gets exposed not just when Elon buys Twitter, but also because of the Missouri versus Biden legal case. And all this shit that's coming out about what they've been doing. The federal government isn't acting allowed to its own citizens, so they contracted it out to NGOs to do it for them. Or they had secret channels to all the top social media apps and messages back and forth about who they want censored and what narrative they wanted protected, what narratives they wanted attacked. Yes, they were doing this. The censorship state, it was a real what we got now over here because of Elon Musk. Twitter is now X.com. A lot of you are watching me on X.com right now. I've been saying shit for the last 2 hours and 19 minutes would have instantly gotten my account suspended under the old Twitter regime. It's not perfect, it's a lot better than it used to be. So, I suspect you're gonna see some things over the next couple of days of this shutdown thing. Over like 100,000 government employees that already signed the deal from earlier this year that they would resign on October 1, okay? They resigned. You're gonna see more than that. You're gonna see a lot of people fired, non-essential workers, non-essential workers. I'm an essential worker. I work for Schindler. That's where that line. I'm an essential worker. I can try to. I'll run into their bosses. I'm an essential worker. You can't fire the voluntary ones are shipping out today. We'll see what happens over the long drags on. But people are conditioned to believe the government needs all of these resources to function. It needs all of this personnel, or the whole thing will collapse. Not true. Not true any more than Twitter needed a massive staff like that. That wasn't true. It actually ran better. Even got rid of most of those people. People gonna find this out about the federal government too. An unbelievable amount of waste, fraud, and abuse. They can't say the they can't say abuse, fraud, and waste. No, no, no. You have to say waste, fraud, and abuse in that order. Waste, fraud, and abuse. Fraud, abuse, and waste. You can't say no. That doesn't roll off the tongue. Waste, fraud, and abuse. Much of it is deliberate so they can hide shit. You understand? This is what they You learned this, you started learning this back in February and March. Most of the waste, fraud, and abuse that's going on is to hide stuff. They don't have to tell you what they're actually doing. They've lost that excuse. Those things still there, you know that? Elon's gone, Elon's not there anymore, supposedly, not there, but the dirt team is still at work. They know who this at this point, they've got it all mapped out, who's essential and who's not. You know that, right? They do. You have people that are programmed to believe the federal government that's half its current size will collapse and not be able to function. That's not true because half of the government is there to do make work shit and cover stuff up or engage in activity the federal government had no fucking business even doing in the first place. Country's gonna run just fine without all of that debt sitting on its back. They just held another vote, that blocked GOP effort to reopen government. Aw, gee, that's so sad, so sad. They didn't get to reopen the government. Aw, man, I think I'm gonna have steak and eggs for dinner today. So sad all these government employees might be losing their jobs. People making 6, 7-figure salaries are suddenly gonna be joining them, looking for jobs in the private workforce. Oh, yeah, when you see all these sob stories from all of these government agency people that are gonna be let go, very likely over the All these military generals, or one of these general guys, the head of guy, and he's the Air Force, already put in his resignation letter after watching that spectacle yesterday of Pete Hegseth and Donald Trump. So let me out of here. These people didn't feel any fucking sympathy for you when you struggled over the last 20, 30 years. While they were part of a system that was outsourcing all of our industries and all of our pharmaceuticals overseas, hitting us with massive, allowing other countries to hit us with massive tariffs that we charge here. They were all part of this system. They liked it. They loved it that way. They made a lot of money. And whenever coal miners lost their jobs, whenever any of these industries were shut down, we said, what blue collar America? Well, I guess you're just the 21st century designated losers. Learn the code. Isn't that what they were told? Learn the code. People who work for the Department of Education, work for the State Department. Now, you hear about State Department people, they're all, clapping each other on the back and applauding each other. None of those jobs were essential. They made a lot of bank from it. They made a lot of money. Some people making 600,000, 200,000, $200,000 a year. So what crime for you during COVID when your business was shut down and you couldn't go to work and the kids don't think for a second these people were crying over you. They weren't. Give a rat's ass about it. You're gonna see a lot of profiles in the fake news media. They're gonna try to get you to care. This is Bob, and this Bob's lovely wife and his 2 adorable, cute children. And Bob worked at the DOJ, prosecuting January 6th protest. He lost his job. Oh, well, fuck you, Bob. Get a real job, Bob. Going on. Hey, good thing for you, that Trump is fixing our economy. There's gonna be a lot of jobs out there, Bob. Go get this stuff one. Quit whining. God bless you. Thank you for hanging with me for this 2 hours and 27 minutes. Oh, 180. So I'm sure people will be watching a live stream later. And just a quick note about Dwayne. Dwayne tells me they checked his kidneys today. Stable, everything good. Hopefully he's just in the hospital for another day or two, and then he can come home. I appreciate you. Appreciate all you guys. I will see you on Friday morning, 10 a.m. on Just with Coffee. Until then, enjoy the new golden age. Enjoy watching Trump not being goaded into making rash emotional decisions.